Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vienna and to the EHF office. I'd like to welcome you all here today to the draws for the qualification tournaments of the Women's EHF Champions League and the VELUX EHF Champions League. I'd like to welcome the EHF Secretary General, Michael Wiederer, who will be conducting today's draw. Also the representatives of all the teams here today. We have a full house here in the EHF office. Representatives of the Women's EHF Champions League and VELUX EHF Champions League clubs. Also, for the first time, we're streaming this qualification event live over our YouTube channel, and I'd like to welcome everybody who's watching at home around Europe, hopefully some excited fans who want to see who their team will be playing in the qualification for the Champions League. So today's event, we will start with the draw for the Women's EHF Champions League qualification tournaments before we move on to the organisation rights for these tournaments. Then we have the draw for the VELUX EHF Champions League and also the organisational rights. For those watching at home, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at EHFCL, on our official Facebook page, and also via our live ticker at eurohandball.com. Also, as traditional, we'll be staying online after the draw events where we'll have live reaction and interview with today's representatives here today. Also, information for those here in the room. Directly after the media interviews, we will have a short workshop with you to explain the details of the Champions League and how it will run over the next few months. So now to the draw event itself, and I'd like to welcome EHF Secretary General Michael Wiederer to the stage, and my colleague Markus Glaser, Senior Manager EHF Competitions, who will take over and guide you through the draw event.
Thank you, JJ. Dear handball friends, welcome once again to a new season, to a new situation where we have to find out what is going to happen on the court. We concluded the registration for the teams. We informed about the teams, about their seedings, etc. And therefore we are ready for the draws today and of course also for tomorrow. Event number 1 today is the women's event. We have 8 teams that will participate. They will be drawn in Group 1 and Group 2, 4 teams each. You have the document in hands, and of course also the viewers at home online could see on our internet homepage how the teams are seeded. We have 4 pots with 2 teams each. You can see them on the screen. We will draw 2 teams to position 1 in Group 1 and Group 2, and then continue with pot 2, pot 3, and finally pot 4. There are no restrictions at all. The 8 teams that we have on the screens come from 8 different countries, so we can relatively relaxed go through the pots and decide who has to play against who. Please remember that these tournaments will be played in a Final Four format with 2 semi-finals on day 1 and 2 finals on day 2. The semi-finals will be the teams in pot 1 against the teams in pot 4, 1 semi-final, and the second semi-final team from pot 2 against the team from pot 3, according to the seeding. And then, of course, on the second day, the 2 losers will have to play against each other, and the 2 winners will play for the only place from each qualification tournament, which will give the right to move on to the phase later on. I think this is enough of explanation. I would say we are ready to start. The teams are in the yellow balls, so we will open a yellow ball first, afterwards a blue, which contains Group 1 and Group 2. Remember, this is pot 1, so these 2 teams will go on row 1. Please.
FTC. Group 1.
So we have FTC Budapest on row 1 in Group 1 as the first team for today.
Midtjylland. Group 2.
Consequently, of course, FC Midtjylland goes to Group 2. We will now get the new teams on the stage once again. The teams are in the yellow balls, and we will now see which team is joining FTC in Group 1 and which team is joining FC Midtjylland in Group 2.
Viersen Trondheim. To Group 2.
So we have Byåsen together with FC Midtjylland in Group 2.
Leipzig. To Group 1.
Leipzig will join FTC Budapest in Group 1. We continue with pot 3, the teams of Minsk and Podravka.
Minsk. Group 1.
So the team of Minsk, Belarus, goes on position 3 in Group 1.
Podravka. Group 2.
And of course Podravka from Koprivnica in Croatia, taking position number 3 in Group 2.
Kragujevac. Group 2.
So Radnički from Kragujevac goes to Group 2.
Dalfsen. Group 1.
And the team of Dalfsen from the Netherlands takes position 4 in Group 1, which means we have not only concluded the draw of the groups, but as I mentioned before, we have also set the semifinals in the two situations, with FTC meeting Dalfsen in Group 1 and Leipzig will meet Minsk in the second semifinal in Group 1. FC Midtjylland will play the team of Radnički in Group 2, and Byåsen and Podravka will have the second semifinal in Group 2. But of course we have to find out where we are going to do the tournaments, and this, according to the regulations, is decided by a lot which will decide the order of the right for hosting the tournaments. Therefore we have on the stage 4 balls containing row 1, row 2, row 3 and row 4, and in the order the balls come out, this will be the right to organize the tournaments. So the first right to organize goes
Row 4.
So the teams of Dalfsen and Kragujevac, providing that they fulfill all the requirements and then they are ready to take over the organization, they have the first right to decide if they want to do it or not.
Row 3.
The second right goes to the teams of Minsk in Group 1 and Podravka in Group 2.
Row 2. Finally.
We are following the order, so it's easy. I don't have to say too much.
Row 1.
So we have decided on the rights to organize the tournaments. Once again, just to remind everybody, The teams of Dalston and Kragujevac have the first right. The teams of Minsk and Bodorovka the second. The teams of Leipzig and Biasen the third right. And FTC and Midtjylland will have the fourth right. And as mentioned before, we will talk about this a little bit right after we finished all the interviews and everything. I think we will have a very short break now to change the advertisement here and then continue with the men in about 1 or 2 minutes. Thank you. Dear handball friends, it's only a few weeks that we concluded the past season in Cologne on a very exciting weekend at the VELUX EHF Final Four, but we are already on stage ready to go for the new season. We start with qualification. We have 12 teams. They will be divided in group 1, 2, and 3. Of course, they are seeded according to the seeding of the EHF in this competition, pot 1, pot 2, pot 3, and pot 4. You can see the teams on the screen. The teams are in the red balls. The blue balls contain the groups 1, 2, and 3. And we will proceed in the same way as we just did the women's event a few minutes ago, opening a red ball and afterwards deciding where the team is going. And I think we are ready to start.
Constanza. Group 3.
So we have the team of Constanza from Romania occupying position 1 in group 3.
Brest. Group 1.
The team of Meshkov, Brest, Belarus, goes to group 1.
Zaporozhye. Group 2.
And of course, the team of Motor Zaporozhye from the Ukraine takes the top position in group 2. We will proceed in the same way with the teams of pot 2, FC Porto, Portugal, Haslum from Norway, and Vojvodina from Novi Sad in Serbia.
Porto. Group 2.
FC Porto joins Zaporozhye in group 2.
Haslum. Group 3.
The team of Haslum from Norway goes to group 3 together with Constanza.
Vojvodina. Group 1.
And of course, closing row 2, Vojvodina going to group 1, position 2. Pot 3 contains the teams Alplahat from Austria, Tatran from Slovakia, and Beşiktaş from Turkey. They will be divided to row 3.
Beşiktaş. Group 3.
So we have Beşiktaş going to Haslum and Constanza in group 3.
Prešov. Group 1.
Tatran, Prešov, group 1, together with Brest and Novi Sad.
Hard. Group 2.
And the team of Alplahat from the west of Austria, occupying position 3 in group 2. Last but not least, the teams in pot 4, Initia Hasselt, Belgium, Junior Fasano from the south of Italy, and Targos Bevo from the Netherlands. They will go to positions number 4.
Hasselt. Group 3.
The team from Belgium, Inicia Hasselt, concluding Group 3.
Argus Bevo. Group 1.
The team from the Netherlands, Targos Pevo, going to Group 1.
Junior Fasano. Group 2.
And we have the team from Junior Fasano from the area of Bari in Italy, taking position number 4 in Group 2. Of course, we are going to do the same once again in order to define the organizers of the tournament or the possible organizers of the tournament. Please remember that those teams that organized the tournament in the past season do lose their right to organize it again in this season. This holds true for the teams of FC Porto, for Prešov and Vojvodina Novi Sad. So whenever these teams will come, they will be moved to the last row regarding the right of the organization. But of course, we will include that in the documents right after the draw, but just as a reminder for everybody watching. So as they come out of the pot, they will have the right to organize.
Row 3.
So the teams of Tatran, with the remark that I made before, Hard and Besiktas have the first right.
Row 1.
Then the second right goes to the teams in row number 1.
Row 4.
This is organization right number 3, which goes to row 4.
And row 2.
And the teams in row 2, Novi Sad, Porto, and Haslum, they have the last right to organize. Of course, we will adapt that to what I just said before. Also, a reminder for everybody, these tournaments will take place on the weekends of 6 and 7 of September in a Final Four format, semi-final and final. You can see the pots. The teams in pot number 1 will play pot number 4 in the first semi-final, and team number 2 will play team number 3 in the second semi-final, and then accordingly on the second day of the tournament, the 2 finals. This concludes the technical part of the draw, and I hand over the floor back to JJ. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to my colleagues, Mikael Wiederer and Markus Glaser, for conducting today's draw. And thank you all for coming to Vienna to take part in the draw today. Also, for those watching at home, thank you for watching. Stay tuned, because we'll be back in a few moments' time for live interviews. And also, don't forget that tomorrow, 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. in the evening, we will have the draw for the group phase and group matches in the VELUX EHF Champions League and Women's EHF Champions League. And I'm sure everybody here today will be following in anticipation tomorrow, because they'll be certain of going through to the group phases in the competition in September. So that's it from me. Thank you very much. Goodbye, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you.
So we carry on with our first draw procedure, with the interviews, and I think the best way to start is with FC Midtjylland. This club was the participant at the first ever MVM EHF Final Four in Budapest. So let's come back to this event. I'm sure you still have fresh memories.
That's a very nice flashback to look at. It was a fantastic event that moved women handball to another level.
How difficult will it be to get back there again?
Impossible is nothing, someone said, but I think it will be very, very difficult. There's a long way. So now we can say we start with another Final Four, and we have a difficult group, but we'll see. There's a long way to the next Final Four for us.
When you saw the seeding for this draw, was this group something what you imagined, what you wished for, or did you want it differently?
Can always discuss. We have been talking a lot about should it be this team or another team. For us, it honestly was very important that we could organize. But now, you saw the draw, that the first pot was the last one to organize. So I think there's a long way for us to be organizer, and that's the worst thing about our group.
Who will be the most difficult opponent, in your opinion?
I think it looks like there will be home ground for the Croatian team if the Serbian teams are not organizing, and then I think the Croatian team will be the favorites of the group.
Thank you very much, Torben Kolbeck from FC Midtjylland, and good luck.
Thank you.
Pordan from FTC Ferencváros. Last season you missed the main round. It was not as you expected. So are you back in the full strength now to attack the top positions in the Women's EHF Champions League?
Yes, of course. We are happy to play in the qualification again. And of course, winning this tournament is the only goal for our team. So we would like to play in the group matches and, of course, to get into the main round.
Who will be the most difficult opponent in your group? Last season it was pretty easy to qualify because you hosted the tournament.
Yeah, so as we can see, we are the fourth now in this order. So we think that we won't have a chance to organize this tournament now. But of course, we think that Leipzig is the most difficult team in the group. So we have to win against them.
The first Final Four in the Women's EHF Champions League took place in Budapest, in your country. What is still the feedback of this event among the handball fans?
Everybody thinks that it was really successful. So everybody enjoyed it. So the atmosphere in the playing hall was very good, and Gjør could win. So it was another very good event. So yeah, I think it was very, very successful.
Thank you very much, Andrea, and good luck.
Thank you.
Now we move on to the third representative of the Women's EHF Champions League, Torbjørn Balstad from Bjarsen Trondheim. Welcome here to this event. Did you wish the group with another Scandinavian opponent?
It's a tough group, and my trainers say the team from Hungary. I hope so, but we also know the Danish people very good, and we also know the Midtjylland. We have been there before, but also Podravka, and I also heard now that the Serbian handball friends will organize. So okay, we look forward to the qualification and look forward to meet Podravka in the first match.
Who is the favorite in this match?
Podravka is the favorite. They played in the Champions League last year, and but in a good day we can hit them.
The first Final Four was in Budapest, in Central Europe, but there were certainly many feedbacks, many discussions about this event in Scandinavia. Can you tell us more about it?
We like Final Four. We hope that it can be every season. We looked to the men's and it was fantastic. And I also liked the women's Final Four. So I hope that will be every year. Maybe we can also organize this in Denmark or Norway sometimes.
Thank you very much, Torbjörn. Good luck.
Thank you.
Now we make a short break and then we carry on with the men's EHF Champions League. So let's start with the second part of these interviews. Now we moved on to the VELUX EHF Final Four, VELUX EHF Champions League, and the best way to start is with the last 16 participants from the previous season. Dmitry Karpushchenko from Motor Zaporozhye is here with us. How difficult will it be to repeat the last season's success in the new season?
Well, first of all, to repeat the last success, we need to know which group the team who will succeed to win our group. First of all, so we will see it only tomorrow. So, but as for today's draw, it's okay for us. I think that we have had team from Porto, not very easy team from Alpla, especially if they organize this tournament, and some newcomers from Italy. We don't know them, but I think that it's up to us to succeed more.
There is summer ahead of us. Are you planning any big reinforcements for your club?
No, this year we secured mostly 95% of our previous team as we wanted. And we have one newcomer, Dmitry Doroshuk from Dynamo Minsk, and two our young guys born in Zaporozhye, so very good ones. So you have the chance to see them on the playing field.
Okay, thank you very much, Dmitry, and good luck to the new season. Now we welcome Armando Leitao from FC Porto. You made an impressive start in the group phase last season in the Champions League. What were the feedback from your fans in the city after you managed to beat several teams in the competition?
It was a very good competition for us. We made some very good results, and the expectations for us this season is high. I think we can do a pretty nice job this season too.
Even if you see the opponents in your group?
Yeah, we like difficult challenges, and we're trying to pass them. I think we can work it out.
How do you see the favorites in your group?
It's going to depend. We cannot organize that. That's an important stuff. I think the Austrian team is going to organize because I think it was more difficult for us if the Ukrainian team organized. They are stronger. Yeah.
Do you plan any new names in your team for the new season?
We are still working on our team because our competition finished a little more late. So we have to wait for a few more days to see it.
Thank you very much, Armando. Good luck. And the last but not least is Ron Kleeman from the newcomers in the EHF Champions League from Bevo, Netherlands. So what are your feelings being here in the Europe's elite competition?
We are very excited. The Champions League is the highest you can get, and we got first-time champion this year, so we're proud we can participate.
When you see your opponents in the group, what is it? What kind of feelings? Respect, fear, or a big challenge?
I think big respect for the teams. They are very big teams in Europe, and I think we can be proud that we can participate and we can play against these teams. I heard the 3 teams play in the same competition. They know each other, so we're like the newcomer, and I think they're a little bit afraid of us now because they don't know us. Now we have great respect for the teams.
Do you see any chances for your team to qualify to the group phase?
If we have to be honest, it's our first time. We don't know what to expect. I think they're way better than we are. We will be the best we can get, and we will give all we have in the competition, and then we'll see what happens.
Thank you very much, Ron, and good luck into the new season.
You're welcome. Thank you.
This concludes our interviews part. Thank you very much for your attention, and we hope to see you tomorrow at the group phase draw for the VELUX EHF Champions League and the group matches draw of the Women's EHF Champions League. Goodbye.